guys? Welcome back to Team OG Baby and a Business. Today, we are going to be speaking with a fellow realtor? Friend slash another realtor in the area that we do real estate. And, you know, he's very successful. He's very young. So that's why we really want to get him on our channel. And not only that, you know, like we said, we don't always get a babysitter, so the young Everly is coming to the interview.
What's going on, guys? This is Joe here with Team OG Baby and Business. This is our buddy right here, Dillon. You know, he's the young guy doing great things out here, so we just wanted to talk to him today and, you know, just pick his brain a little bit. So the first question we want to talk about is, you know, you're young. You know, how has that been an obstacle that you had to overcome in real estate?
It was really hard at first, thinking that basically everybody who I would be working for, or basically all my clients, would be twice as old as I am, and have bought multiple houses, sold multiple houses before me, having obviously not bought any houses, certainly not sold any of my own houses before. So why would they work with me? And that was kind of the hard thing that I had to teach myself. And it really isn't an issue anymore, just because of the mindset shift, which has become, they want to work with me, not because of the transactional experience that I still don't necessarily have compared to older, you know, brokers and agents, but because I have the enthusiasm and I still have the passion and I still have the excitement. And that's one of the things that the older people that I compete with, that we compete with, don't have anymore. To be honest, some of them
at all.
just don't even like doing it. They just do it to do it. So there's no passion, there's no love for what they're doing.
So did anybody ever ask you, like, oh, how old are you, Dillon? Like, did they say it?
Definitely. And I used to lie at open houses. I'd say, oh, my mid-20s. And this is when I was still 19. So like turning 20. But yeah, I've come to, I guess, embrace that I'm 21 now and certainly not lie about it anymore, because it's just not good for anything.
You've been in the business for a little bit, so you know.
That too. Yeah, that helps too.
Right on. So as far as, you know, you said, you know, it's not really an issue anymore. Do you feel like being younger is an advantage to yourself now? Because you said a lot of people don't have the enthusiasm and stuff like that.
Definitely an advantage.
So he's also doing a flip right now. He just did one and he's about to be closing soon. So talk about that.
Almost.
It's your first one, right?
First flip. I basically, after years of listening to Bigger Pockets podcast episodes and just looking on the MLS and auction.com for flip opportunities, living at home for my first 2 years selling real estate, which allowed me to save up money and build credit for, you know, checking saving lines of credit that would allow me to leverage more. I found the single cheapest flip opportunity in California.
California in general, right? Because California is super expensive.
And so it was out in Blythe, and fortunately I know an agent out there who manages a branch of my previous brokerage, Allison James Estates and Homes, and she introduced me to everybody that I needed to know, from home inspector to cleaner, carpet installer, used stove and range, seller.
Basically anything to help you save money.
Everything, And so it's been a huge blessing, because I've only had to go out there twice. And now that it's in escrow again and I close with the new buyer at the end of the month, I know that if I were to do it again, I have the team in place to where I truly would never have to go out there again. And that's really exciting.
Now, the next session we're going to talk about now is, you know, 2019 is almost over, 2020 is coming up. So, you know, what's your plan for 2020? Like, anything drastically changing? Are you going to pick a farm? I don't know, what are you going to do?
Not a lot of big changes. I'm definitely not reinventing any wheels at all. I'm just going to double and triple up on what has worked this year and last year, and completely eliminate the things that haven't worked for me. So like, when I got my license, all I did was open houses, and that was over 2 years ago, and I have finally stopped doing open houses because I've sold one house from an open house total, and I have over 200 hours invested in open houses. So that's not dollar productive activity for me. As opposed to door knocking or Zillow, those resources or avenues do work for me really well.
Okay.
So in 2020, I'm going to be doing much more of both of those.
Right. Okay. Awesome.
You agree with Dillon?
Now, where you see
Take two of the best.
Sorry.
where's it?
You're flexible, baby.
Oh, we're trying to be professional. Sorry, bro.
We should just bring her in.
So talk about your experience with Zillow. You know, some people like it, some people don't. Some people say it doesn't work. Some people say it's too expensive. So, talk to me. What do you explain?
For me, Zillow has been amazing. It's been a huge blessing for me this year. I've had 7 of my closings this year have come from Zillow, and that is more than half. I haven't closed 14 deals this year, so more than 50% of my business has come from Zillow. I'm all for Zillow, and it is expensive, but it works, and it's predictable for me now too.
So I saw you on your Instagram. You posted about the Zillow Premier. What is that? I'm kind of just curious myself. You said like they're changing up the standards to be a Zillow Premier agent.
There are 70,000 Zillow Premier agents right now in the country. The people that are paying Zillow, the agents that are paying Zillow every month to get buyer leads and some seller leads. Well, Zillow is very focused on the consumer and the consumer experience, and they want to streamline the consumer's experience and increase the positive feedback from the consumer by basically eliminating all of the Zillow Premier agents that don't follow up effectively, which is most of them. That's why we hear about Zillow not working or Zillow being,
so many bad reviews.
rip off. The bad reviews.
I mean, you definitely have to follow up. I mean, that's just the name of the game.
Yeah. I mean, I have Zillow leads that I'm still working, and they came in last January, 2018, and they finally got an approval in the last, a month and a half ago.
Wow.
And that's it. Just it helps the profitability of the Zillow ROI for me. So the best of Zillow designation will allow me to be one of the 10% of agents that receive leads once they eliminate the other 90% who don't follow up effectively.
But what's the craziest experience you've had in real estate?
I've had a funny and at first scary experience showing an open door listing out in Hemet. It was one of the first open door listings I showed, and it was a single story in a rougher neighborhood, and the sun was about to set, so it was getting darker out. Well, I had my iPhone up at the door, unlocking it, and the electronic lockbox mechanism made the noise as the deadbolt unlocked. And when that happened, I heard movement, like basically a big thump inside the house. So I opened the door up and then I peeked in first, and what I saw was a naked man, homeless man, laying on the carpet in the living room, the brand new carpet that Open Door just put in, with a soda leader, like an empty soda leader with pee in it, and chicken nuggets scattered.
Were you with clients?
That was the clients, They were behind me, luckily.
Did they see you?
So I peeked in and he looked at me and he jumped out the back.
And
then it was a family that I was showing the house to. The father was right behind me. He's a tough, big dude. And so he peeked in and he wanted some. He's like, "Get out of here. We want this house." So that homeless dude bolted out the back. So that was really
that would have been some type of experience, like, geez, you're 19 years old.
I would know what to do. I'm Dillon Hall and I work for Trillion Real Estate in Temecula.
Awesome. Thanks, brother. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, dude. Thank you, bro.
Hey, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed that video this week. Everly was there and she loved it and we had a great time.
Yeah, like we said, we have to take her along sometimes, obviously. Anyway, so huge thank you to Dillon Hall for coming out and coming on our channel. Hopefully you guys got some great information out of it and got to see a different perspective. So that's always nice. Like we said, he's one of the youngest, most successful agents in this area. So we're very lucky to know him.
So Chelsea's about to do her famous line, so
don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share.